ever edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on StreamYard.com. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Gold MF Mike FLecha Jr., and I'm with Anthony the Hitman Florio, the Twisted Angel Didi Woodson. We were hoping to get Michael Bullock, but it looks like it's not going to happen, guys. So you're going to have to probably wait till Friday to see him. And welcome to what will become a new show, maybe Tuesday night, maybe Wednesday night, but coming this October, Friday night will be the new home of the Cerebral Smack Talk. So you're wondering what the Cerebral Smack Talk is all about? All right. Just like Ridiculously Raw, that's Anthony Florio's show on Monday night, we cover SmackDown Live. We cover the blue brand for you. Well, I believe is the better brand of WWE television. Anthony Florio is going to give me the dirty look and say, yeah, right.
Debatable.
There you go, as I said. But whatever the case may be, we are the land of opportunity, and we're going to entertain you guys for the next maybe hour or so. Who knows? Hopefully less, but we will get into SmackDown Live, and we do have a Mikey's Mindset. Normally, I talk about the world of professional wrestling outside of WWE. It could be New Japan, could be, since we're doing a big All Elite show coming up in October, All Elite will be pushed off to the side. But I do Ring of Honor. If Lucha Underground comes back, I cover that. And, there's some other stuff if I feel like that's warranted. Even independent wrestling from New England, Rhode Island, whatever. We'll get into it. So, with that said, let's start it off. SmackDown Live for the fourth night in a row was live yesterday from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And we started it off with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was talking about the King of the Ring tournament coming up and the whole 9 yards, but gets interrupted by Shane McMahon. Oh, I thought we were done with them after what happened last night, but it wasn't. But I'm going to say it. It's going to be cool. It was a nice little storyline, to say the very least, and I love it. Kevin Owens came out, it was good at the beginning, but then when Shane came out, he kind of made the segment unravel right before our very eyes. Owens was talking about the King of the Ring tournament, which was awesome because, yes, you did hear it, guys. Next week, the King of the Ring is coming back to the WWE, and what a tournament. 16-man tournament, 8 on Raw, 8 on SmackDown. The bracket's not out yet, and I'm already intrigued and excited. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but a strong segment. It was a good segment to start. Nothing else to say. So, Anthony Florio, come on in. It's all yours, my friend. Pretty good segment until Shane McMahon had to come out and muck it all up.
Well, I'll tell you, MF, the first half of this was really good. Kevin Owens was fired up, and the crowd was excited to see him. Kevin is playing the everyman exceptionally well, and it was really great to hear him get excited about the King of the Ring and talk about its lineage. But then Shane O'Mac's music sucked the air out of the room, and people quickly realized their rivalry is seemingly not over. While we would like to see them move on, I did like the touch of Owens getting visibly upset over the dollar amount of the fine. $100,000 should be a big deal to most people, and Owens making a comment of Shane's perceived exorbitant wealth compared to that of the wrestlers only served to highlight his babyface persona more against heel authority. So, all in all, fine segment for what it was. So, really nothing more to say. Let's get Didi Woodson on in here and let's get her thoughts on this.
Yeah, it was an okay segment. It was solid. But unfortunately, yes, we still have Shane. He threatens to sue and all this stuff. I mean, it's just seems like a never-ending story here with Shane McMahon, and whoever his new challenge is, which looks like it's going to be KO for a while. So not a whole lot I had to say about it. I mean, it was a good opening segment. So it's yours, Fletch.
All right, and with that said, we're just going to move right along with the first match of the evening, which was a women's division match, as it was Ember Moon going one-on-one with the Queen, Charlotte Flair. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout, 8 minutes and 33 seconds, was the Queen, Charlotte Flair. She wins it the figure 8. Anthony Florio, it's all yours. Charlotte beats Trish. Now she beats Ember, who is, oh, by the way, a contender for the SmackDown Women's title at SummerSlam. Uh-oh. Florio, are you getting that sinking feeling like I am right about now?
A championship committee feeling?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm afraid so, MF. I know nobody wants to see Charlotte back in the title picture. I can understand that. I get that. But who else does Bayley have to defend against? I mean, what other credible heels are there for Bayley to go against? I mean, but then again, the whole Ember thing, that was more of a battle of faces there. But more on that in a minute. But I'm going to give it a solid 3 stars for the effort. I mean, the early portion of the match was rough. There were several semi-botched spots and just generally slow pacing. It did pick up in the latter stages, though, and the back half wound up being mostly enjoyable. As expected, Charlotte got her win back after losing to Ember a few weeks ago, and I assume this probably ends the brief push for Ember Moon. Unfortunately, I mean, nothing personal against Ember. It's just that she's failed to connect at pretty much all levels. And her program with Bayley didn't really do either woman any favors. And I know a lot of people are not going to like this, but Charlotte, I hate to say it, seems like the logical choice to move back into the title picture, though we have seen this feud done ad nauseum. So I know a lot of people are not going to like it. I know MF probably doesn't like it, and I'm not sure how Dee feels about it, but nonetheless, it's going to have to be Charlotte. And I think come Clash of the Champions, Charlotte goes home as a heel to challenge Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship, because the Clash of the Champions, Sunday night, September the 15th, from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. And oh, by the way, Charlotte has won a SmackDown Women's Championship in her hometown. We'll never forget it. That go home to the 2017 Survivor Series when she knocked off Natalya in that incredible match, and then that emotional moment with her father, Ric Flair, after the match was over. So it ain't gonna be like that this time if this is the way it goes. So with that being said, solid 3 stars. Dee Woodson, like it or not, it looks like Charlotte's gonna be back in the title picture.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, it was a good overall match. Charlotte picking up the win was kind of expected, because more than likely, like you said, she's going to be challenging Bayley next. So, what else can you say about it? I mean, it was solid, and that's about all I'm going to say about it. So yeah, it's definitely 3 stars. So Fletch, it's yours.
Apologize for that. No, I agree with that. 3 stars. I thought this was a solid fight. It was some good action, to say the very least, no doubt about it. I don't think that you can go any more further than what they can do. Definitely is putting herself in line to be the next contender for the title, no doubt about it. And we'll just move on from there. Had a lot of promo segments after that, backstage segments and whatnot. Then we get into a fight that you could easily call the fight of the night. Roman Reigns going one-on-one with Buddy Murphy. Of course, Buddy Murphy was linked to this whodunit to Roman Reigns a couple of weeks ago. The scaffolding fell, and they said that Buddy was there. Buddy basically said it was Rowan, and now it turned out that Roman Reigns was going to try to knock some sense into Buddy Murphy. Man, oh man, did this turn out to be a hell of a fight. 14 minutes, 32 seconds. Roman Reigns wins the match. The outcome was predictable, but my God, what a match between these two men. Didi Woodson, fight of the night.
Agreed, fight of the night. I'm going to give it about, I'm going to go ahead and shoot it with 3 3/4 to almost 4. This was really good. I mean, you could compare this one to the Cedric and Drew match on Raw. I mean, it was a very good match. And, of course, the bigger star winning.
I found you. Everybody told me she was dead, and I found her. I've been chasing these dogs.
I lost my train of thought. Excuse me.
I've always been 2 or 3.
It was good to go ahead and have this since, they've had all this backstage stuff going on with trying to figure out who attacked Roman. And, of course, we had Roman confronting Buddy Murphy last week. Then yesterday, we had Daniel and Rowan confronting him. So, yeah, I mean, this was definitely needing to be done. Definitely, to put that speculation there to bed. But yeah, I mean, it was a very good match, and they both worked very well with each other, and it came out the way it should, basically. So yeah, definitely fight of the night. So it's yours, Fletch.
There's no way I can disagree with this. This was a fight of the night level type fight. This was an excellent match. This was, to me, at least one of the best matches I've seen in a long time. 3.5 to 3 3/4. You could even make an argument for 4. You could easily make an argument that this was maybe a 4-star fight. 3.5 to 4 would be my rating for this. This was an excellent matchup. It got great time. The pacing was pretty good for most of it. Yeah, there was a commercial break along the way, which, yeah, it kind of hurt a little. But, man, the way that it came back towards the end made the show enjoyable. It was good. Yes, it was a great matchup. And the thing is that, look, if you're going to put Buddy Murphy, you made him look strong. You made him look good. He almost knocked off Roman Reigns. There was a moment where he had Roman dead to rights and almost won it. Now, of course, Roman deserves the win, and it was definitely there. But to build a character, to make this a compelling argument, WWE did a great job in introducing the world to Buddy Murphy. If you've never seen 205 Live and you've seen Buddy Murphy for the first time, this was a solid way to open him. I think this was a great matchup. Definitely one of the better fights we've seen on SmackDown Live in, I'll openly admit, I have not seen a better SmackDown Live fight in a while, at least for the last year or so. So, nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Man, probably. What was the last time we saw something like a really, really good match on SmackDown Live? Probably not since those 5-star classics Ray and Andrade were having earlier this year. That's probably when. But 4 to 4.25 stars is my rating. Great match. Really worth going out of your way to see. This, like Didi said, it felt like a direct response to Drew McIntyre and Cedric Alexander's bout from Raw Monday night. This, to me, was one of Roman Reigns' best efforts in quite a while. Coming in, I expected minimal offense from Buddy and was shocked to see him not only stand toe-to-toe with Roman, but get the better of him throughout much of the bout. That near fall coming out of the triple knees and Murphy's Law was excellent, and the crowd totally bought into it. that's saying something given how much a given the result of this one was coming in, with obviously Roman going over. Nothing left to say except this. Buddy Murphy turned a lot of heads last night, and a lot of his colleagues on social media, you know, a lot of the other wrestlers there, really singing the praises of Buddy Murphy, and even Roman himself even admitted it. So I don't know. I mean, is there a slight chance that they could turn Buddy Murphy into a babyface, considering all the love he's been getting? It may be possible. I don't know. We'll see. So to me, fight of the night, 4 to 4.25 stars. Well done. I only wish we could have gotten these two at SummerSlam instead of putting Buddy Murphy in that pointless and unnecessary kickoff match against Apollo Crews. If you had put this on the SummerSlam card, this could have been the show stealer instead of Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. Think about that, MF, as I give it back to you.
Definitely. No doubt about it. All right, so the next fight we had was Kevin Owens versus Samoa Joe one-on-one. Once again, Elias was named the special enforcer of the match. This time around, Samoa Joe beat Kevin Owens 7 minutes and 55 seconds. This was authority shenanigans all over the place, man. This time, the referee got pulled out. Samoa Joe rolled up, got rolled up, and Elias counted the 1, 2, 3 on a fast count. You kind of knew this was going to happen. If they weren't going to go, they didn't do it for the SummerSlam. I kind of had a sneaky feeling they were going to do this kind of ending. They did it. It left a bad taste in the mouth. This is about 1.5 stars for me. Even though it got a decent amount of time, just the way that the fight ended was just, ugh. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, go.
1.5 to 2. I was gonna give it 2.5, but then once you made your point, I definitely agree with it. It was 1.5 to 2. It was decent for what it was. If nothing else, it made me want to see these two have a longer match at some point. There are so many possibilities for KO now that he's a babyface. So this is really just the tip of the iceberg. If Owens is going to lose right now, full-blown shenanigans, authority shenanigans, or what have you, like this are the most effective way to do it without him losing any heat. So, damn shame, because he had two guys who were stalwarts in Ring of Honor. I mean, ask MF. I mean, MF is our port authority on Ring of Honor, and he could tell you stories upon days about how these two, were two of the greatest of all time, and they certainly were. And yet having a match like this and having, quite frankly, I'm going to be real honest with you, I've seen a lot of fast counts in my day by guest referees. That, I believe, MF, was far and away the fastest count I have ever seen from a guest referee or what have you. So, really nothing more to say on this. 1.5 to 2, colossal disappointment. Damn shame authority shenanigans had to take place. Two great talents, and you had to do that to them. Ridiculous. D.D. Woodson, your thoughts?
I'll agree on the rating, 1.5 to 2. It basically, in my opinion, I think that the booking for this was bad. Why do we need Elias out there, especially after they just got through saying that Elias was not supposed to be there? He gave him the night off. They put the 24/7 belt on hold. And then all of a sudden, Elias comes out as the special guest referee again, and then inserts himself when he shouldn't even be out there in the middle, at the end of the match. I mean, it was bad. It was just bad. I mean, the match was going, the match would go really great if it wasn't for Elias being out there. And and everything. And this, this loss also hurt the momentum that Kevin Owens had after beating Shane McMahon at SummerSlam. Okay, why? I don't know. I guess so Shane can get his kicks. I don't know. I'm done. It's yours, Fletch.
We go right into the main event of the evening after a couple of more segments, including Daniel Bryan saying that he's going to, at the end of the show, he said he's going to open an investigation on who the real attacker was for Roman Reigns next week. But we're gonna go right into the main event, and that is it was the Revival and Randy Orton versus all three members of the New Day, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions Xavier Woods and Biggie Langston, and the WWE Champion Kofi Kingston. When it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 12 minutes and 35 seconds, Randy Orton and the Revival, as it was Wilder and Dawson. They did the Shatter Machine. They hit it. Dawson hit it on, I believe it was Xavier Woods that got the Shatter Machine. Dawson goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. Revival just pinned the tag champs. Championship committee moment. Anthony Florio, I believe you lead off on this. So give me your thoughts. Revival and Orton gets the win. 12 minutes, 35 seconds.
Championship committee, huh? I mean,
I believe so.
Well, the Revival are Raw guys. So, but then again, with this whole wild card nonsense, which I hear it's supposed to be ending soon. I hope it does, because once we get to Fox in October, I believe we're gonna be back to the actual brands, and we'll get rid of this wild card nonsense and having Raw talents challenging for SmackDown championships and vice versa. But that little nitpick aside, I'm gonna give this about 3 to 3.25 stars. Second best fight of the night for me. The final minutes of this one were fun and chaotic, but the several minutes of warm work on Xavier Woods dragged on. It's the usual 6-man tag formula that WWE utilizes on TV. Still, I'm glad they set up this whole match logically, and that it ultimately served to further the angle between Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton. I suspect a rematch will be booked at the earliest possible date, in the immortal words of the late great President Jack Tunney. It's probably going to be September the 15th at the Clash of the Champions. Maybe there's a stipulation involved. I don't know. We'll see. But Tom Phillips, Corey Graves, Byron Saxton, the announcers, they were quick to point out that the Revival earned a pinfall win of the tag champions. So despite this ridiculous wildcard rule, I would expect these Raw talents to be challenging for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. So that's all there is to say really there. So I'm going to give this 3 to 3.25 stars. Second best fight of the night. Dee Woodson, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll agree. Definitely second best fight of the night. I mean, it was good and it was fun for being a trio match, and I like the fact that they didn't put the pin with Randy pinning Kofi. Instead, they're building to what looks like it's going to be a feud with Revival and New Day, at least until they decide to end the wild card mess, which, if you notice, they haven't even really mentioned the wild card when they've had these people coming and going on both shows. They've just kind of been coming and going. So I don't know what's going on there, whether or not we'll have another draft or something before SmackDown moves. I don't know. All I know is this is really strange how they're running this right now. But if they do, then and they send the Revival to SmackDown, then you could set up Orton and Revival as a stable to face New Day every once in a while. I mean, there's just any possibilities you could do. But for right now, yeah, I see probably at the next pay-per-view we'll have Orton and Kofi, and possibly Revival and New Day. So we'll see what happens. So not much more I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, guys. So it's time for the overall review, and Dee Woodson, I'm going to let you start it off.
Yeah, I'm going to give it about 7 stars. I mean, it was good. It had a lot of storyline building, as SmackDown usually does. Had a lot of segments, and we at least had 4 matches going through here. So, I mean, it wasn't that bad of a show. It was, it was strong for what it was worth, and and it's interesting to see how they're going to play out the Roman Reigns story. But I would like them to kind of stop showing the incidents. I mean, if you haven't seen them by now, then why do we have to keep seeing them over and over again? I mean, we've already seen the first 2 incidents. We don't need to see them over and over again. Let's just move on with this, and let's just get to what we hope is the culprit. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. So, I'll see you guys next week. Good night.
Good night, Dee. 7 out of 10 for me as well. I totally agree with you guys. I totally agree with her. This was a good show. This was a solid show. A great way to finish the SummerSlam week in Toronto. And Anthony Florio, I'm just going to give you a quick thought. So go ahead, man. It's all yours.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. That's the correct rating for this edition of SmackDown Live. This was a largely solid show anchored by the excellent match between Roman Reigns and Buddy Murphy and the continuing developments regarding the 2 attacks carried out against Roman. Daniel Bryan was excellent on the show last night. We got a main event which, though not particularly exciting from a match quality perspective, was logically booked and built within the confines of the show and served to further the WWE Championship storyline. Additionally, Kevin Owens took another step forward in his babyface role, and we got a small preview of what we could get to see out of him as he begins facing heel opposition not named Shane McMahon. On the downside, though, it does look like his feud with Shane will continue, at least in the interim. So, nothing more to say. 7 out of 10 is my rating as well. So, MF, let's go to your Mikey's mindset.
In the Mikey's mindset, guys, this is where we do and talk about the world of professional wrestling outside of WWE. This is where I could talk about Ring of Honor, New Japan. We on my last broadcast, I talked about Triple Mania, which was from AAA, the wrestling in Mexico. Well, this time around, we're gonna go to the land of the rising sun and to Japan, as during this entire month, there was a tournament, a G1 Climax tournament. G1 Climax 29 is what it was called. And when the tournament began, it was basically divided into 2 blocks, Block A and Block B. The winners of these blocks would get to face off against each other in a final match, a showdown fight. And the winner of that fight gets a golden ticket, a golden opportunity to fight for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship of the World at Wrestle Kingdom. That's on January 4 in Tokyo, Japan at the Tokyo Dome. One of the biggest shows of the year. Well, Block A winner was the Golden Boy, Kota Ibushi. Block B winner was the leader of the Bullock Club and former IWGP heavyweight champion, the Switchblade, Jay White. Well, when it was all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 New Japan Pro Wrestling's 29th G1 Climax tournament winner, the man that gets the briefcase, the man who gets to fight for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship of the World in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom on January 4, 2020 will be the Golden Boy, Kota Ibushi. Anthony Florio, you know Kota Ibushi really well from the Cruiserweight Classic, and I know you've seen a little bit of IWGP because of the Access channel. Give me your thoughts, because right now, just tentatively, the main event for Wrestle Kingdom is Kazuchika Okada versus Kota Ibushi for the IWGP Heavyweight title.
This has the potential to be the greatest of all time right here. I mean, you look at the body of work. I mean, I don't know much about Okada as MF does, but I can definitely tell you about Kota Ibushi. 3 years ago, he was in, to this day, the only Cruiserweight Classic. And quite frankly, if I'm going to be honest with you, he should have went over. He should have won it, to be quite honest, because I felt that he was the best out of all of them. He had a 5-star class. He had a couple of 5-star classic matches, one with Cedric Alexander, and then the other to the man he eventually lost to, which I believe it was TJP, in the semifinals of that tournament. And both of those were 5-star classics. I mean, he is insanely talented. I'm glad that he's getting the opportunity, to go for this. And if it holds up, if it ends up being Okada and Ibushi, this could be one of the greatest IWGP Heavyweight Championship matches of all time. Now, I'm not the big New Japan aficionado as MF is, but, that's just how I feel about it. I could definitely see this being a 5-star classic. Absolutely.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. This is going to be exciting. And when it happens, it's going to be something else. All right, guys. So that's it. We're done for tonight. Normally Anthony Florio does the recap or the setup, but I'm going to do something different because it's my show. Let me hit you guys with the table for Strictly Sports, because it's pretty simple, guys. This week on Strictly Sports, that's on 10:30 Eastern, hosted by Anthony Florio, we're going to be talking about the college football. That's right. We're going to preview all the major conferences of the college football season. That's the Big 10, the Big 12, ACC. We're going to talk about Notre Dame, and of course the SEC. You know what that means, Alabama and all them boys. So we're going to talk about the major conferences, Notre Dame, and we'll get into that. And then, of course, we're also going to get into the Major League Baseball power rankings at the end of the night, 10:30 Eastern, hosted by Anthony Florio. And, guys, we're going to have it on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. And don't worry, guys, because we're going to try to hook this up on all social media platforms. It's not just going to be on YouTube. We're going to try to spread it out through as many avenues as we can. All right, so that's it, guys. So we're done for tonight. We want to thank you so much for watching this. As always, you guys are the best fans in the world, and we are so glad and honored to be now on the new home of Strictly Sports and Wrestling Forum and our family of networks right here on StreamYard.com. Anthony Florio always has his famous saying. Here's my famous saying, guys. Hugs and hand pounds. We are out. Have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.